Welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast, where the magic is in learning.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the May 18th episode of the Mystic Access Podcast. She's Kim.
He's Chris.
And we have a few things to talk about today, and they all are about SuperSense.
SuperSense is an app available for iOS and Android. There is a free version that gives you limited functionality, and there is a paid version. You can pay by the month, by the year, and we actually got lifetime subscriptions to it because it's pretty cool. It does a pretty diverse amount of things. So we're going to run it through its paces here for a minute and show you a few of the cool things you can do with it. We're not going to describe it in detail because later today we're going to be joined in the castle by Shane Lowe, who is the Community Operations Manager at SuperSense, and he'll be telling us more about the product. But right now, rather than giving you a tour or anything, we'll let Shane do that. We want to dive into a few of the cool things it can do. So we're going to do a couple of cool demos for you to show you the power of what SuperSense has to offer.
Yes, we are. So here I am in the Mystic Access Palatial Palace. So we're going to show you a couple of things about SuperSense. And I'm going to open it. Open SuperSense.
Document mode SuperSense. Hold closer to the document. Rotate to 11 o'clock position. Hold closer to the document. Rotate to 11 o'clock position. Processing.
I don't know what it wants to process, but it's going to process my hand or something.
05312. Toss. Troll. Code. Boss. Markets.
Okay, I have no clue what it just read, but it's apparently Tops Markets. It might be this bag that's on the floor that has Tops Markets on it. So that's kind of cool. It actually did that.
05312.
Now,
Tops. Troll. Swap count. OPS.
there are different things that you can do with SuperSense. You can do document scanning. You can do barcode reading. You can do a bunch of other different things like quick scan as well.
Money identification.
Money identification as well.
There's a scene experience that you can try out.
A scene describer.
Scene describer, that's it.
Let's go to the scene describer. I went to explore mode, and now I'm in object explorer. So if I select this feature now,
Object Explorer. Premium feature.
I can go into object explorer,
Find. Premium feature.
find,
Select scene describer. Premium feature.
there's scene describer.
Description of your environment.
So let's try this.
Scene describer mode on.
Scene describer mode on. Now, I'm going to
Select feature. Scene describer. Active.
flick to the right,
Open the screen. Select feature. Capture. Button.
and then flick to the left, and there's a capture button. So let's see what this does.
Process. Probably kitchen with automatic sitting inside a refrigerator.
Okay, it says probably a stovetop,
Probably kitchen with automatic sitting.
probably a kitchen
A kitchen with a stovetop beside a refrigerator.
Probably kitchen with automatic sitting inside a refrigerator.
And a sink.
side of a refrigerator.
Oh, is it sitting by the refrigerator? Okay. A
No,
stove.
No, it's just sitting inside the refrigerator.
Okay.
Headings.
Let me see.
Characters. Words. Probably. A. Kitchen. With. A. So. Top. Button. Sitting. Inside. Of. A. Refrigerator.
Sitting inside of a refrigerator. So I just went word by word, and that's exactly what it said.
So where are you?
I'm in my kitchen, and I don't know why it thinks my stovetop is a refrigerator. Let's actually do something a little more interesting, shall we? We're going to go outside, and I'm going to see if we can figure out something outside instead of just some random stuff in the Mystic Access Palatial Palace. So now we're outside.
Save to go.
You get that processing noise.
Probably car parked on the side of the road.
I couldn't tell you if that's true or not, but it might be.
Find a
Go
mailbox.
out further. Let's see if we can find.
Save to go.
Used to get pretty sounds while it's doing. It doesn't want to describe my scene. I wonder if it's pointing into the sun.
Scene cannot be defined.
Scene cannot be defined.
That's actually kind of cool. Okay, let's try this again.
Probably a large brick building with grass and trees.
Probably a large brick building with grass and trees. That is absolutely correct.
Do a mailbox.
Okay, I'm going to actually look at the
Save to
mailbox.
gallery. Capture button. Sitting in front of a brick building.
Probably a wooden bench sitting in front of a brick building. That's wrong.
I wonder if you have to back up a ways from it. I wonder if you're too close to it.
I was going to say, but however, there is a big wooden pole that's holding up the mailbox.
Save to gallery. Capture. Save to capture. Button. Houses. Probably a bench in front of a brick building.
No,
Okay,
so
maybe not.
Save to gallery. Capture.
I'll go back a little bit further. Let me see.
Houses. Probably a large brick building right in front of a house.
The brick building is the house.
Yeah, it's a little...
I'm going to try one more thing.
Save to gallery. Button. Probably a large brick. Save to capture. Button. Probably a bicycle in front of a brick building.
Nope. Probably a bicycle in front of a brick building. Not even close.
Save to gallery. Button.
What was it?
A fence.
Select feature. Scene describer active. Select feature. Scene describer capture. Button. Save.
Hey. So now we're going to get out of here.
So I wonder if, in a situation like that, Object Explorer may have been a better option than Scene Describer. I don't know.
Find Object Explorer.
Let's see.
Feature. Capture. Object Explorer mode on. Select feature. Object Explorer is active. Button. Open the screen.
Nope.
What did it do?
It's trying to...
Refrigerator.
Oh, it got the refrigerator. That's cool. Okay, now let's see if you can get the stove. Let's try this window here.
So does it take a picture like Scene Describer, or does it just...
It's scanning the open feed of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't find... Let's see if we can find this microwave. Nope, it can't.
I did pretty good with Object Describer with mine recently. Let me try something. You guys won't be able to hear it, but I'm just going to open mine really quick and try something. Open SuperSense. So when you open it after a new version has been updated, you get what's new in this version, and that's where Scene Describer is currently. So I can hit OK. Now I'm on barcode mode, so I need to change mine. So I'm going to Explore. Oh, it says Object Explorer is active. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to click Start.
Select feature. Object Explorer is active. Button. Select feature. Start. Read button. Tap to open read screen. Menu. Button.
And it says Start,
Button. Tap to open read screen. Start. Button.
and I don't know...
You might have stopped it.
Oh, wait. It says...
Start. Button. Start the listening process. Hold your camera at least 1 foot away from the
Hold your camera at least 1 foot away from the text or object. So let's try this again. Okay, it's making cool little sounds. I've got my keyboard in my lap, and I'm... There it goes, computer keyboard. Awesome. Okay, let's see if it gets my phone. My other phone. I've... Cat? No, not hardly. Let's try this again. Come on.
Kim loves cats.
Kim's not really a cat person. Laptop. Nope. Let me open my phone. Okay, it sees my keyboard again. Yeah, fine. See if it can do my phone. Just seeing if it'll tell me anything about it. And it just keeps saying computer keyboard. My keyboard's larger, obviously, than my phone, so maybe it's getting precedence in the camera. Let me try something else. I'm going to put my keyboard to the side. I'm going to try...
If you aim the camera at your face, it'll say human face.
Human face.
Oh. Oh, it's doing the front camera. It must be. Either that or it just saw me for a second.
Saw you for a second.
See if it'll do my headphones.
Human face.
It said human face again. Not what I want. I want you to do my headphones. Come on. So some of this...
Headphone.
There it goes, headphones. So some of this is a bit of trial and error. See if it sees a cable.
If it tells you it's a snake, you better run for cover.
Sometimes it's a bit hard to know where to position your camera to make everything play nice. You also want to make sure that you've got it a foot away. Bird? I don't know what it just saw.
I wonder if it saw a bird out your window or something.
I don't know, it's a long way from the window.
Dog.
Dog. Yeah, where's it sending this stuff? I don't know what it thinks it's seeing.
Bed.
Bed. Oh, it sees my bed. That's kind of cool.
Bed. Bed.
Still sees my bed. Interesting. Let's see what it thinks this is. Window. So sometimes it's seeing stuff not where I'm attempting to point the camera, which is kind of interesting.
Bed.
Yeah, bed
Yeah.
again.
But you have to remember, too, you don't know what that camera's field of view is.
And that's exactly the important thing for any of us to remember about cameras. They see more than we think they do, which is kind of an interesting piece of this. So I'm now going to go into Scene Describer really quick. So I'm going to stop.
Read button. Tap to open read screen. Button.
And then if you tap to open the read screen, which is also right here, I've got product mode, which is active. Then we have Smart Scan, Quick Read, Document, Multi-Page Scanning, Currency, Barcode, Magnifier, Import Image or PDF, and Read History. So that's what's in the read screen if you choose to go in there. I'm going to go back out of there, though, because that's not where I want to go.
Menu. Menu.
And instead, I'm going to go into Explore.
Menu. Read button. Tap to open. Stop. Button. Select feature. Object Explorer is out. Select feature. Object Explorer is out. Object Explorer. Premium. Find premium feature. Scene describer.
And find Scene Describer. So let's see what it sees.
That's where you have to capture. There's a capture.
So
button.
let me...
Select feature. Select feature. Scene describer is out. Menu. Button. Read. Capture. Button.
There it is.
Probably a group of items on a tabletop.
Probably a group of items on a tabletop. So let me move slightly and try it again.
Save gallery. Button. Probably a group of items on a tabletop. Read button. Tap to open. Save. Capture. Button. Capture. Processing. Probably a blurry photo of a little girl lying on a bed.
Probably a blurry photo of a little girl lying on a bed. That's interesting.
Save gallery. Button. Probably a blurry photo of a little girl lying on a bed. Read button.
There is a
Menu. Button. Read. Save. Capture. Button.
bed here.
Capture. Scene describer is active. Select feature. Capture. Button.
So it at least got the bed.
Probably a group of stuffed animals sitting next to a window.
Well, it's not awful. You know,
That's
depending...
probably right. Yes.
That's close. You know, I've got random stuff on my bed. It's showing some things. I don't know how much you guys are hearing of this, which is why we're trying to tell you what we're hearing and finding out with it. If you kind of have at least a modicum of an idea of what's there, you can figure out some of this information. We want to show you something else kind of cool. There is a barcode reader available in SuperSense. Sometimes, however, something will have a barcode that SuperSense doesn't see. And we want to show you a way within SuperSense that you can fix that issue. So we're going to show you kind of two things in one here.
I'm going to go into the Mystic Access palatial kitchen. And then I'm going to open this freezer that's got snow in it. That's a story for...
That's a sad story you guys don't want to hear.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into
Object find.
SuperSense.
Premium feature. Object back.
I'm going to go into actual read.
Object Explorer load on.
Which is where I was a second ago to show you all what was in there.
Load on menu. Button. Rotate to one clock position.
So
Explorer rotate to one clock position. Select move 1 inch forward. Active. Move 1 inch to the left. Hold closer to the document. Move 1 inch to the right. Rotate to one clock position.
I don't think you're in scan mode or barcode mode.
I'm not. I'm getting what this thing is beforehand.
So what is this, scan mode?
Yes. It's got some nice music that it plays. I don't think it's going to get it.
Select feature. Document reader active.
Document reader is what? Active?
Active.
Explorer button stop. Button.
I'd stop it and start it. That works for me sometimes.
Doesn't want to stop.
Stop.
Here you go.
Stop. Speaking rate. Words. Stop. Stop.
Nope. Let's kill the app, shall we?
Yep. Sounds like the right thing to do.
FaceTime.
Open SuperSense.
SuperSense document mode on. Move 1 inch to the left. Move further away from the document. Rotate to one clock position. Move further away from the document. Processing. Document is ready for reading. Beginning of task. Microwave popcorn. Revive. Superfa. Hit of mine. Pre-ready to be. Smooth. Gel. 0.00.
Okay. So what it did is it scanned my smoothie. This is a smoothie that I know for a fact does not have a barcode. It's called Hint of Mint, and that's what I got out of that scan. But it also found the microwave popcorn box that was sitting on the counter. So it also read that as well. So that's why it said microwave popcorn and then revive superfoods. So that's kind of a cool thing. Now, armed with this data,
Count. Beginning of decrease font size. Increase invert back button.
I can go back.
Document mode on. Menu. Rotate to one clock.
And actually it does have a barcode. It just doesn't read that barcode.
Right.
Clock position. Explore process tab. Open source read. Object Explorer mode on. Menu. Button. Opens additional red button. Stop. Button. Red button. Tabs open. Red button.
So he's going into read.
One clock position. Explore button. Rotate to one clock position. Rotate to one clock position. Select. Rotate to one clock position. Process. Document is ready for reading. Ends. 141 minutes. Action 1. 1.2 back. Rotate to one clock position. Select feature. Forward. Smart scan. Premium feature.
Okay. So I'm going into the read features or the features again. I was trying to stop it from talking. It was kind of driving me nuts. So now we're going to go to the barcode.
Document read. Premium multi-page scanning. Currency. Premium feature. Barcode. Premium feature.
It's called barcode.
Scanning process.
Now let's see if we can find the barcode.
And you hear those little sounds?
The barcodes on some items, like cans at least, or jars, it actually said hint of mint. That's different
Wow.
because I put that in there. So that was a wasted experiment. However, what it will do is it will bring up an edit box so that you can add your own stuff. If you know something, like I knew it was hint of mint, when it found the barcode, it was hint of mint. If it wasn't in there, it would have prompted me with an edit box and a keyboard, and I could have dictated hint of mint or typed it in or whatever, and then hit save, and it would then, moving forward, recognize that it was hint of mint.
Now that's interesting because you did this with another smoothie from this company earlier today, and it didn't know what it was, and you
Right.
had to put in its name.
Exactly.
So that's kind of interesting.
Let me see if it can get this. Here's another package of something. Let's see if it can get a barcode from this. Come on.
And the little tones it makes get faster as you get closer to the barcode.
Select feature. Product loading stop. Button. Stops the scanning process.
That's different. I find it hard to believe that there's not a barcode on this.
What is it?
It's Lysol. There it is.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
Yep.
So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but you can't quit.
I'm going to try one really quickly because I suck at cameras. I'm a little better than I used to be, but I'm still bad. I'm going to run get something real quick. So I just went into the bathroom and grabbed a bottle of dry shampoo, and I want to see if I can find... Oh! Immediately. I got it without even trying. That was amazing. And it said barcode not found. It put me in the edit field. Because I have two, I'm not actually going to put this in right now. So I'm going to hit the cancel button. There's a cancel button and a save button. I have a can here. Let's try this can and see what it knows about it. I'm turning my can. I'm not actually getting any little sounds at all right now, which is kind of interesting. Let me see. I might need to stop and start really quick. Sometimes that helps. I know for a fact this can has a barcode on it somewhere. What's your advice about cans?
It's usually by the seam,
On the top or on the bottom?
on the edge, on the round part. You know where the label comes together?
No, this is like a soda can thing, except it's not. Oh, let me see. It made a sound for a second. Oh, it made it. Come on. It's pinging at me. It thinks it's right here. It's making lots of beeps, but it's not taking a picture. This happens to me a lot. And I turned it just a little and it stopped dinging at me so much. So this is a little discouraging for me when I try and do this. I know what's in this can, but I want to see if it does.
This is where I would try the quick read feature or the trying to scan the can to see what it's there. It's difficult to find the barcode.
Let me switch features. So I'm going to stop with this. Then I'm going to find select feature. Smart scan or quick read? Oh, this is a long document or currency. So quick read?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here.
You just move it. It reads like little short bursts of text.
I'm trying to do exactly that. Total fat, sodium.
That's actually doing pretty good.
The problem is I have no idea what it is.
Right. Turn the can.
It isn't enough for me to have any clue. If I didn't know what this was, I would be clueless.
Okay, try the document scan thing.
So let's try the document scan one. I'm going to stop this. It's just kind of a good rule of thumb.
I might not get that.
Yeah, it says it's supposed to detect what I'm trying to scan. And it's making little beeps at me like we're in barcode mode. It just read me a smidge.
Sounds like you're still in quick read mode for some reason.
Yeah, it's not enough to give me any information. Let me make sure where I am. Nope, Smart Scan is active. I did do that correctly.
Yeah, Smart Scan is one of those features that tries to guess all of your other features. So what it's doing in that situation, doing a quick read. So Smart Scan is not what one might think it is. It's trying to say, oh, is there a barcode there? That's why it was giving you barcode.
Yeah, it was actually making barcode sounds.
Right.
It was trying to figure out what I was doing. I was very impressed the first time I got a barcode from this a second ago with this other bottle, but I'm not getting it with this can. And this is the bottle I used was a round bottle. It's not even making any tones at me now. Sometimes, again, if you stop and start, it can be helpful, but I have a lot of trouble with barcodes.
I know it's in the middle of the day, but that's another thing you want to keep in mind about your lighting. Sometimes if you have better lighting, stuff will come out better.
Absolutely. Got it. And it told me single 12 ounces can, it gave me the flavor, and it told me what kind of water it was. Now,
That sounds to me like that was your document scanner thing.
nope, I was back in barcode reader. I went back into barcode reader, and that's how I ended up getting this.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I want to, I can show details. It tells me it's my LaCroix sparkling water, pamplemousse, grapefruit, single 12 ounces can. And it tells me the description. So it's telling me about what's in it. No calories, no sweeteners, no sodium. Now it's reading it to me in the Samantha voice. If I want to, though, I can move forward and I can read some facts about it in terms of nutrition, which is great.
That's actually a new feature.
Yes, the details feature is.
Right. What it used to do is it used to read the entire details to you every time you scanned it. Now it's giving you an option that says, okay, I just want to know the product name. If I want the details, I can go get them.
I can also invert the background color, increase the font size, decrease font size. There's the beginning of the document. At the bottom, I can play or share. Or I can go back, which is what I'm going to do. No, I can't save this anywhere. I wouldn't really want to. There would be nowhere to actually save. I was just seeing what other options are available here. So I'm going to stop. And then I'm back at my Explorer and Menu. If you go into Menu, you have Settings, Tutorial, Subscriptions, Feedback, Invite Friends, Rate SuperSense, Request a Call, and that's it.
If you request a call, you'll talk to one of the people from SuperSense.
Yep. So that gives you an idea, and we'll go into the castle and talk to Shane, who works for SuperSense, who will tell us a significant amount more about the company and the product.
Welcome to the Mystic Access Magic Castle.
We are delighted to be in the Mystic Access Magic Castle today with Shane Lowe, who is the Community Operations Manager with SuperSense. And we're going to learn all about the product and learn more about the company and your job as part of the company. So Shane, great to have you here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, man. I've never been in a magical castle before. This is pretty sick.
Yeah, right? We like our magic castle. It's cool.
It's pretty awesome.
It's a very fun place to be.
Yes.
Some strange things
nice
happen,
decor.
but that's okay. Yeah, definitely nice decor, for sure.
Picking up spirits.
Absolutely.
With SuperSense.
You betcha. We were talking about that before we came on. I was doing a scene describer with one of the new SuperSense features, and it said, possible blurry photo of a little girl lying on a bed. And I'm like, ooh, okay. That's
Wildly
kind of
creepy.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
very
strange.
creepy.
Very strange.
Yeah, so the first announcement I have to make is that we're going to be breaking away from our focus on blindness, and we're going to sell this to paranormal activity.
Totally.
So thank you for having me. That's all I
You're
have
so
to say.
welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You
I'm having a
betcha.
good time already.
Yeah, fantastic. That's what we want.
Very nice.
So, for those who don't know, what the heck is SuperSense?
So SuperSense is designed to be like the fastest, the best, the simplest scanning app. So the goal of SuperSense, you're always scanning something. You can scan business cards, books, reports, restaurant menus. You can scan barcodes. You can scan currency from 5 different countries. You can scan people. You can scan doorways, 600 other things. I really shouldn't list them all. It's all about scanning with SuperSense.
So you've got Android apps and you've got iOS apps, which is fantastic because it kind of
Yes.
opens that world up.
Yeah,
which is
SuperSense
awesome.
works on both.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yep,
We're gonna get-
absolutely.
We're going to get this question out of the way because I know anybody's going to ask this. And I
A
know,
lot of people will.
Yes, I know what the answer is. Can you have one account over multiple iOS and Android devices? So if you have an iPhone and an Android device, can you purchase it once and have it on those 2 devices?
Yeah, so if you buy it on one, the system won't let you because we're going through the stores, the individual stores, so the system won't let you do it automatically. But if you send us your receipt and ask for access on the other platform, we'll set you up.
Oh, that's very cool. That I did
Very
not
cool.
know.
We did
Was
not
the
know
answer
that.
You knew? Yeah, I was going to say.
That's not an answer Chris knew. He's going, doll! That's
Did you buy
okay.
it twice?
I did. No problem.
Oh, man. Jeez.
He got one of those
Thank you.
holiday lifetime deals, though.
Exactly,
He's
so-
cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. You just
Yeah.
bought me lunch. Thanks, Chris.
There you go.
absolutely.
So we're scanning stuff all the time. We're scanning stuff every day. And so this thing has numerous applications that are available for us.
It's true.
What do you think about how one might use this in the day to life? How might one start out and begin utilizing this to make life easier?
So the main thing that we did to make sure it was really simple is we started by trying to, when we designed it, eliminate as many steps as possible. So the starting feature for most people, I think, is going to be the Smart Scanner. And what that'll do is it wraps 4 features into one: the document reader, the quick reader, the barcode, and the currency reader. So, if it sees like a sign, or like a sign in a window, or a street sign, or a business card, it's going to read it quickly, and it's going to focus on giving you results as quickly as possible. Whereas, if it sees longer text, it's going to put you into document mode. And our document reader focuses on being really accurate, but also being really quick. So it'll give you some directions on how to point the camera. The directions are in plain English. They're really easy to understand, because some of the, I've had a lot of trouble with using other scanners before, some apps and some, physical scanners, just lining it up, because I'm blind myself. So it's going to give you really simple directions. It'll capture that picture, and you can read the longer text as well. If it picks up a barcode on a product, it'll identify that. Or if it picks up one of 5 different currencies, it'll read that for you as well. So the smart scanner is going to wrap up most of the scanning, from on your day-to-day. It'll handle it automatically. So you can switch those modes manually. I like to do that. But most people have the most success with the smart scanner, just letting it handle what it's scanning. It'll figure it out, and it'll scan it appropriately. And then we have some other features too. So we have the multi-page document scanner. So if you're scanning like a book or a report or something, you can scan all of those into the same document. And then, of course, with those documents, you can text them, you can email them, you can save them as PDFs, put them on the cloud, whatever you want to do. You can also send specific paragraphs to people. So you don't have to send the entire page or the entire document to someone. You can just send the relevant information to them if you want to do that. So those I use when I'm, going through mail, or if I'm traveling to read like some signs as I'm walking past some signs. I use them to identify products a lot. So if I'm cooking, or if I just got like groceries coming in, I'll scan a lot of barcodes. The other side of SuperSense is the Explore side. You're always scanning, but there's the read screen and the Explore screen. And on Explore, you can you can have it scan for any object around you and tell you what it is, or you can look for specific objects. So when I'm looking specifically, I've had it find people in an airport at 2 a.m. because I obviously schedule flights well. There's nobody in the airport, so I'm looking for somebody to get directions from. And I found people that way. I found doorways that way. You can find reception desks in hotels, which I've done before. And then, of course, just the general Object Explorer will tell you everything in an area. So that's just helpful if you're walking through a place and you want to know what's around, or if you're looking for landmarks that you can go by, when you're traveling a new route or something. So that's the really long answer to your question.
I wish I had that when I got stuck at JFK one night. I got stuck at
Oh my
the
God.
airport. Yeah, that was kind of fun.
That sounds crazy.
He's still traumatized.
I am.
The other one I forgot is you can import photos and PDFs. So if you have like a textbook that you can't read because it's in an inaccessible PDF, or if you're like trying to read a meme or something on social media, you can import them and it'll read it. And now it'll describe them to you as well with our new exciting scene describer feature.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Which we've already alluded to.
Which we've alluded to that just
Yes.
a smidge a moment ago.
It's new. It's new. Be gentle. It's new.
It was kind of funny because before this recording, Kim and I were playing around with the scene describer, and one of the things that I got back was it said something like a stove range inside of a refrigerator. Now, the only thing I can think of is that the refrigerator
Chris
was
is
on
an
the other
expert decorator.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, totally.
So the refrigerator was at the back end. I think it might have seen the reflection off the stove of the refrigerator. That's the only thing I could think
Hey, you
of.
clean well.
Yeah,
That's a
there you
plus.
go.
He's still a bachelor at this point. Maybe his stove is in his fridge and he just doesn't know it or hasn't paid attention to it. We'll see. I'll
Lost it
find
in
out.
there.
Right.
You'll know the next time he tries to cook bacon or something.
Yeah,
Right,
totally.
look in
We'll
your fridge,
find
pal.
out. Yeah, I think
Yep.
it's in there.
Absolutely.
But it was kind of funny, the descriptions, but it really was doing a decent job when I was outside playing with it. We've actually showed you some of that stuff before ducking into the castle.
Yeah, so you got a little bit of a preview. Let's go back to
Very
camera
nice.
for a second, though, because I've always said that I'm one of these people who really sucks at using the iPhone cameras, and I don't know why that is. I think I'm improving over time, but I still seem like that's just not my thing. I'm not very good at it. And what kind of well, I know the app obviously gives suggestions. So, for instance, in some of the modes, you hear this cool little bass riff, do-do-do-do-do-do, or something like that.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
What's that all
that's-
about?
That's telling you that it's working.
Nice.
Because some people just if it's quiet, if it's not giving you any kind of feedback, it's always looking for something. But
Yep.
if it's not telling you it's looking for something, people get nervous.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's just some little rock and roll to let you know that it's still scanning. It hasn't abandoned you.
Yep, I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
Yes.
Have
And then
you
you get the
thought-
12-bar blues when it's processing something.
Oh yeah, nice.
Have you
Yes.
thought of haptic feedback for someone who's deafblind?
No, I haven't. That's a great idea, though. I really like that idea. I'm the first person to tell you when we haven't thought of something, and I think that's a really good idea. How would you imagine that working? Because I think this could be really helpful. So I imagine the process would look like they're making the scan with the phone, and then reading it on a braille display.
Yeah, they got a
Right,
braille display
Right,
connected.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bluetooth.
But I was
Right.
thinking like the haptic feedback when it's playing the riff and stuff, so that you know.
You know it's working, or something maybe with the barcode, where you've got your ding, 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 ding,
Right.
ding, something like that kind of translated somehow into haptic would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I just wrote that down. I'm going to bring that up at the next development meeting because I think that would be. I would really like to make it more accessible for the deafblind community. That's a really good idea.
One thing I did like with this new version that was just released a couple days ago is when you're scanning a barcode, it doesn't read the whole thing to you.
I really
It'll-
like that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how the original barcode reader worked. We launched barcode about a year ago. Yeah, it was last May. And that's originally how it works. We wanted it to be really quick. So if you were, we work with a lot of blind vendors, so you'd scan a bunch of stuff really quickly. So you don't want to click the back button, to go back to your barcode scanner every time you scan something. That'd be really frustrating
Right.
especially if you scan
Sure.
a couple hundred things in a day. That's ridiculous. So instead, we just changed it back to that because when we added some things like ingredients and nutritional facts and things,
So glad you did that. I've been waiting
when
for
we-
that. Yay.
thank you, I'm glad. When we added them, it just popped up the viewer, but we realized that could be frustrating. So we took that away, and so now you can just click on a button if you want more info, which has the ingredients and the nutritional stuff.
When we first discovered SuperSense, there was a reason or a story behind that. And what happened is Kim and I both had ID Mate devices. She had the Quest and I had the Galaxy, and she turns her Quest on one day and it stopped working.
It died dramatically
Oh, wow.
mid-scan. Yeah, it was sad.
Wow.
So you could turn it on and it would just start up and then stop working. So it was dead. And we were trying to figure out, because like she said before, she's horrible with scanning barcodes and stuff with iPhones, and I was too for a while. And any app that I've used in the past to scan for barcodes, for me, I could never find them. And SuperSense, for me, and I think Kim, has been a better experience in finding.
Oh, by far.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Is there anything we can do to make it better, by the way? I'm always looking for new stuff to tell our developers to do. My goal is to make them really hate me.
I don't
So
know.
if you think of anything,
Yeah.
if you think
Yeah.
of anything, let
I'll
me know. And
let
that
you know
goes
if
for
I think of
anyone,
anything. Yeah.
for anyone listening as well. Seriously, we always want to hear your comments and your suggestions and your feedback and your ideas. You can request a call from within SuperSense or Super Lidar. You can do that in the menu, and you can always reach out to us on social media, SuperSense AI, or on the website, supersense.app. You can talk to us.
Cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I find that it still might take me like a scan or three, to get it to find exactly what I'm looking for. I was doing a can in the podcast, just like a can of sparkling water, and it took me, I think, my third try. But then I picked up this other bottle, and I didn't even have to work at all. It was just click, picture.
It does
Like,
that.
hey, presto.
With the round stuff, it's an exciting time trying to scan the round stuff.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Seeing how quickly you get a response back.
Exactly. Sometimes I can even get it to get to the repeating dings, and it's still not quite taking my picture, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
So, how far away are you holding the phone when you're doing
Probably about a foot.
that? Perfect. And then, so what I do, my tip for that is when you get the beeps and they speed up a little bit, if you move the phone a little bit closer, it seems to zoom in. Like the camera will kind of zoom in on the barcode and catch it
Okay. That's
a little
cool.
bit faster. So yeah, maybe try
Nice.
that.
Yeah, I
That
might
might
try
help.
that and see if that makes a difference. Try it
Works
on the
well
same
for me
can I
anyway.
was using before. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
See
go
what it
for it.
does. Absolutely.
Nice.
So those are some camera tips for you guys. Somebody will inevitably ask this question as well. What are the limits of the free version?
Yes. So unfortunately, I have the really human habit of enjoying to eat. So as a result, Yeah,
What's
we do
that?
have- yeah, it's a myth.
We like to
Yeah.
eat too.
Really?
Not until August, though. We're trying not to eat until August, so we fit into our clothes.
Saving up for the wedding.
Yeah, right.
It's like we're cutting back on food this month.
Yeah,
This,
no food
this
for
summer
us.
season.
Exactly. I gotta get my dress altered in about 2 weeks, so it's like, yeah,
Oh,
no
man.
food for me, thank you.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the so the free version. So when you download SuperSense, you get 7 days for free, and then by the way, I've been having a good time here. So you get 7 days for free if you request a call within SuperSense and say that you listened to Mystic Access. I will also give you a free promo code for 30 days, so you can check it out for
Ooh,
longer. if you'd like.
hey.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, of course.
Super awesome.
I'm having a great time here, so yes, least I could do. And so after that, after your 5 weeks of SuperSense, we will ask you to pay for it because that funds our research. And also, I don't know if you know, but these scanning apps also have services, so we have to pay for servers and different things. So you're helping to keep our stuff running so that you can scan things. So the free one, if you decide not to pay, which is okay, I understand that, the free one will still let you use the quick read, which is just going to read stuff as quickly as possible, so it's less concerned with accuracy. You can import photos and PDFs. You still have access to the magnifier, and you have the read history feature as well. So anything that you scan with any of our features goes into read history. So if your phone, if your phone dies or you forget to send something to your friend or it doesn't go through for whatever reason, you can go into read history. Everything is stored locally on your device, so we don't store anything that you scan, and you can access it, share it, save it from there. And that includes barcodes, by the way. If you ever want to save nutrition facts or something from a barcode, you can save that. It's pretty cool.
Have you ever thought of doing a share my barcode with other people? So let's
Yeah,
say
you can do that.
You can already do that. That's already there.
Yeah,
but
in
I
the menu.
mean, will it go to the database for other users, or do you have to share?
Oh, so we're still working on that. So right now we're using another database, and we don't know. We're still trying to figure out a way to edit it. So we're
Right.
trying to figure out a way to make SuperSense look through the first one and then look through the second one, like the smaller one that people submit. So that is a problem that we're working on for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, that's cool.
I do like the fact, though, that you enabled the feature where if a barcode, for instance, isn't found, that you can put in your own thing, which is great. I mean, that in and of itself is really helpful because sometimes you just can't find them. They're just not there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really helpful. That's something that we did in response to people asking us about, when the ID Mate got discontinued. We wanted to make sure that we were serving all of those people who, might be looking for a new product, or
Right.
we
Yeah,
had some
right.
people using SuperSense who were requesting it anyway. So we figured that would be a great time to put that in. So, and that's kind of how all of our stuff happens. We develop everything because somebody's asked for it. So that's as a blind person, that's really important to me, making sure that we're developing things that people actually want to solve problems that people have. We're not trying to tell you what you need solved. We're responding to what people ask for.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, the co-founders of our company have done super well in creating that atmosphere where we can just chat with people, and based on what people need, we can respond and add features, and that's really cool.
So you spoke a little bit about Super Lidar. What exactly is that? What does it do? And what do you need to use it?
Yes, so Super Lidar works on any device with a LiDAR sensor. So that currently includes the iPhone 12 Pro, the 12 Pro Max, and the iPad Pro. And it's completely free because I understand that you spent enough money on the above devices.
Right.
And what it does is it focuses on navigation. So SuperSense handles the scanning. Super Lidar is our navigation app. And this is actually, when the company started, this was really what the passion of the founders was to create a navigation app. And then we kind of got waylaid because people were asking for scanning stuff. So we did scanning stuff for a while. And now, when we started thinking about LiDAR, we realized, that's the next step in navigating, because we want it to be universal. We don't want any, right now, it's really difficult to, map out spaces and work with business owners to map out an area or set up, these different beacon technologies in an area. So we want something that'll work, in the middle of New York City or Chicago or, wherever you are, or, in the jungle. We want it to work as best as it can. So Lidar is a really great solution for that because it doesn't require any cellular data or Wi-Fi or anything. It uses the sensor on your phone to essentially analyze a space, so it can tell what's around you, where it is, and how far away it is. And so right now, Super Lidar focuses on obstacle detection. So we're adding a lot more features, but right now it's focusing on that experience of when you're walking down the sidewalk and, if the space is open, it'll just give you like some soft beeps. And then when it detects something, it'll play a high pitch. And if it recognizes the object, it'll tell you what it is and how far away it is. And then as you get closer, the pitch will descend and it will start vibrating too. So it'll vibrate faster as you get closer to something. So it's focused on telling you what's in your area. And we just put out an update for that as well. So one of the biggest parts of that update is you can customize the way that you get feedback. A lot of people requested things like being able to turn off certain feedback elements or invert the pitch so it starts off low when you're far away from something and gets higher as you get closer to it. Different things like that. So we're making it customizable, and we've got some other features in the works as well coming soon.
Yeah, that sounds exciting, but like you said, to get the hardware, it is quite expensive. So
Absolutely.
We're
hoping, though, we have a reasonable explanation or expectation that the latest iPhones, the 13s and on, should also be equipped with LiDAR sensors.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be silly for us to make this whole big app, just for one generation of iPhones. So
that's true.
Exactly.
We're moving forward with the next ones as well, I hope. And I get this question a lot about if a version of Super LiDAR is coming for Android users, and answering that last question is what reminded me of it, because right now there isn't one, and the reason for that is we don't have that assurance. We don't have that stable platform of,
right.
Sure. It'll probably be coming in the next Pixel or the next Samsung device, because they're all so different. You're getting different things every day with different Android devices.
Yes, you are.
So currently there isn't one because we don't have a platform to run it off of, unfortunately, because it's completely dependent on LiDAR.
Right. With Android, though, some of these phones, like some of them have Face ID on them, some of them have fingerprint readers, some have both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for Android.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what you're gonna get. So
right.
Unfortunately, we can't right now, which is sad because we started on Android. Actually, our first version of SuperSense, which was our first app, was on Android. So that is a shame.
I've done some of these indoor navigation things, such as the beacons and the Wi-Fi. And the first time I went to a place that had beacons, they hadn't used them in like 2 years, and we were doing testing, and the beacons were all dead.
Oh wow,
that was fun.
Oh wow,
so they had to get new batteries for all the beacons.
Well, that's not good.
Right. and then the Wi-Fi setup that we tried, which was actually very cool, because one could actually plot a route from where you were. Let's say I wanted to go to some room somewhere. You could plot a route and get turn-by-turn instructions, and it would take you that way.
That's great.
The only problem with that one is that you had to map out the area.
Right. Yeah, and that's the problem that I have as well, because that's amazing that it's so specific and you can get these really detailed directions, but it's so unrealistic to expect that we will be able to contact every business owner on the planet, every business owner, every government building. Even, if you really want to be able to use this thing universally, you should be able to use it in a house or in an alleyway or literally anywhere. And so, like, as a blind person, I don't use my phone for too terribly many things, which you might find ironic. But it takes me a while to work a new app into my routine. When I get used to one way of handling something, before SuperSense, for example, if I couldn't read anything, at the time I was still in high school. So, I would just ask my mom to read it. Let's go, hey, what's this?
Yep.
And so it took me a couple months after I started working for SuperSense to realize, oh yeah, I have this app that I can read things. And so, now that's second nature to me, but I have the same issue with navigation apps. I don't want one navigation app to use in Louisville, Kentucky, and one navigation app to use in Chicago, and
right.
in all these different places, because different places have different maps that have connected to different applications. And so if that's the interface that we're looking at, people aren't going to get on board in big enough numbers, because it's just too inconvenient, it's too confusing, and it's not efficient enough for people. They're so amazing. They give just wonderful directions, but the scope isn't there.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to help with.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like you said before, nobody is going to be able to do every single building. Then you have all these people that are doing, different things, even different hardware for different buildings and stuff like that. So now you have to figure out what app you're going to use to go into that
it's not
specific
universal.
building. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we continually come back to the thing about what a small market we actually are. So people don't find that appealing either. So it's a tough sell. Yeah.
And it's expensive too, especially if I've seen some cases where, you have to convince the business to pay you to come out there. And it's like,
it's only a few grand. It's cool.
Yeah, right. If you're in rural anywhere, like the blindness market is so infinitesimally small that it'll be almost impossible to convince somebody to do that.
Absolutely. I just want to mention a potential feature idea. Have you guys thought anything about color identification as part of Read?
Oh, yeah. Yes. We have developed one to a certain extent, and we really want to make one. But I don't know about your experience, but in
disastrous, terrible.
Yes. Yeah, I have had very poor luck with color identifiers. And if these big superpowers like APH and Microsoft and these great companies can't solve the problem, it's really hard to solve.
Exactly.
And so we are working on one, but we won't release it until it works.
Sure.
Right.
So I can't give you timing or anything because God only knows when we're gonna figure out a way to make it really accurately identify colors. We have a few ideas. We're working on them.
Sometimes when you put those color identifiers on yourself, it'll give you complete wrong information.
It's amazing how wrong you can get. It's like, what?
Oh, it's incredible. It is unbelievable. I think mine told me I was lime green once.
Oh, that's fun.
Exactly. then you rush to the hospital. What's wrong with me? Nothing.
Deeply concerning.
Yeah.
I put it like on the skin of my hand. Like it wasn't even like my clothing or anything.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's
Crazy
amazing.
time.
It's amazing. Yeah, I knew it was going to be one of those questions. Like, oh God, don't ask me that question.
Oh no, I love this question. I ask me anything. We try to be really transparent and just talk about anything that you want to talk about. I will talk about it, or I will just tell you why we can't talk about it. Because there's some new features that we can't talk about yet because they're they're farther down the pipeline.
Of
so
course.
We don't know we don't know too many specifics. But like in general, we just try to be really transparent because we're working to benefit the blind people. So why wouldn't we be? Why wouldn't we talk to our users about what we're going to do?
Yeah, and that's terrific for us, and it's terrific for the everyday user who comes in who's saying, hey, I don't understand something. That's perfect.
Of course.
Sometimes,
and you can get free training and free tech support and all that stuff. Just request a call within the menu or send us an email from within the menu, and we'll get back to you.
Sometimes when you're putting new features in, and I've known this from, I used to work for Sendero Group. I used to do accessible GPS for Braille notes and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
nice.
Sometimes a feature would get put in, and then it's just not ready for the release cycle, so you'd have to pull it out.
Yep. Yeah.
Or you tell people that a feature is going to come in, and then they lose their minds. Oh.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, we if you're looking for our column reader, we were really excited to announce our column reader that we were working on, and we said, oh, it'll probably be coming in February. We're really, really close. And then we got there and realized that we just weren't happy with the accuracy of it, so we wanted to go back and improve it. And that takes a really long time to improve something that you've already, essentially finished up to that point. And so that's kind of what we did with our column reader. We're hoping to have it out, in the summertime, but unfortunately, that's February is certainly not in the summertime.
Right.
Nope. Yeah, and these things happen. If you've been around apps for any length of time, you'll discover that sometimes things just don't work. And
absolutely. And it's so funny because, I can sit here and I've learned to do this less. I used to be like, oh yeah, we'll have this ready on September 5th. It was like this specific date. I could almost name you the time of day that we expected to release it, and it would just never happen. It would be a couple weeks after. Sometimes it would be a month or two, and just realize like, oh yeah, we hit snags in development. That happens. Yep. So
we even do in our tutorial creation, we run into snags too.
Yeah, the closer we get to a deadline, the more likely something's going to blow up. I had a computer blow up when I was on book deadline one time, and it took me 3 weeks.
God.
Oh, it was awful. It was a terrible experience. It just died
man, that's miserable.
spectacularly. Yeah, I mean,
that's
so You know, anybody who's been in something like that totally gets it. But for people listening, you know, sometimes you just have to remember that sometimes these things happen, and it seems like the closer you get to deadline, the crazier things on the back end will get on the inside. So
true.
be
That's
patient,
true.
be kind.
She was
Yeah,
doing.
and we're trying to test it internationally as well. You know. we're
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
make it work
yeah.
For people in every country, so that adds a
Right.
huge layer to it.
Absolutely.
She was working on her phone for like 2 weeks while we were waiting for this computer replacement to come.
Yeah, it was
So,
fun.
Oh my god, I cannot imagine.
Oh, it was scary. Yeah.
I would struggle to do everything on my phone. Would be.
she had to email the person that we were on the deadline with and say, sorry, you
This
got to
has
move
to
it.
get pushed back a smidge.
of
I
course.
can't do all this on my
Yeah.
phone.
Like, and at this point, you know, where we are in society with, you know, with technology, like, if your computer goes down, I mean, what can you do?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You can't not push it back.
If your internet goes down, what do you do?
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. God forbid your power goes down.
You're
Oh, yeah. So, Shane, this has been awesome and fun and delightful. Tell us
This has been
for
great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic talking
Having a
with
great
you.
time.
Fantastic. Tell our listeners if they want to learn more about SuperSense, where do they go? How do they get started?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You can get SuperSense AI on the App Store or the Play Store. If you want to keep up with us and follow updates, we're SuperSense AI on Twitter and Facebook. You can go to our website, supersense.app. You can sign up to our newsletter there or check out our blog. There's a lot of cool stuff there. If you like SuperSense and you want other people to download SuperSense and check it out, please rate it on the App Store. Post a review if you'd like. That really helps us get the word out to other people. So it's really wonderful if you could do that. And of course, you can also reach out to us directly. You can request a call or send us an email anytime.
Fantastic. It's been awesome talking with you. Thanks so much for telling us more.
It's been
Thank
a lot
you
of fun.
very
Thank you
much.
guys.
Thank you for your visit to the Mystic Access Magic Castle. You're welcome anytime.
The preceding podcast is a presentation of Mystic Access, where the magic is in learning. If you are blind or visually impaired and desire to discover how our comprehensive products and services may support and empower your assistive technology journey, we welcome your visit at www.mysticaccess.com. Have a question or wish to place an order via phone? Call us at 716-543-3323. If you have something to share about this podcast episode, press 4 to reach our Mystic Access podcast comment line. Email us at info@mysticaccess.com. Connect with us on Twitter at twitter.com/mysticaccess and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/mysticaccessempower. Would you like to spread the word about our podcasts? Your friends and colleagues may listen and subscribe at www.mysticaccesspodcast.com. If you enjoy our episodes, consider leaving us an iTunes rating and review. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks for spreading the word, and thanks for being a listener. We hope you enjoyed this episode.